Well, folks, I guess this is it. And we start the way we start. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And probably this is one of the shows where it will come to play. Well, hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. Another blessed Monday is here with us, and we thank the Almighty God for it. Welcome to the show I call That's My Opinion. And my name is Nana Ansakwal IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemwe Dumasa, with absolutely terrible roads. With absolutely terrible roads. Now, first of all, let me say a big thank you to the Daily Graphic team for coming to support their colleague George Danso at Edumasa, who happens to be my son as well. And also for the Baptist clergy, Deacon Adai and Reverend Kwabna Mustafa of the Ditini Baptist Church in Yendi. He came all the way from Yendi to officiate the funeral of George's father. And what a charismatic preacher he is. Reverend Kwabna Mustafa. Amazing. He blew us all away. Beautiful preacher. Now, I want to apologize. After saying thank you for coming, I want to apologize for the state of our roads. Somehow, maybe because I'm a loud mouth or because I'm in the media, I am held directly responsible for the road, getting it done. Now, I heard and got some messages from the graphic crew that why is Nana Ansakwal not doing anything about the road? He's always on radio, talking about issues, and why doesn't he bring his road? Well, folks, I wish I had the powers, and I'm telling you what, the first person I would have sacked would be the DCA. Oh, yes, the first person I would sack would be the DCA. Why? Now, can you believe that when he gets media opportunity to inform higher authorities, he says we are blowing things out of proportion? He's just gotten himself a brand new Nissan Patrol, brand new, floating on the potholes, doesn't even see what's happening beneath them, saying we are complaining too much and that the road is okay. So here I am screaming blue murder. And the government rep too says it's fine. In this case, will we ever be put on the priority list? So that if some funds should be dispersed somewhere, I'm sure they're not going to think of us because the government rep says the road is fine. So now once upon a time there was an event. President turned up with the roads minister, and I was standing right by Odino, the paramount king of Akwemu. And Mr. Mwakwata pulled out a letter from his pocket that the president has instructed and literally signed on it that the road should be fixed ASAP. Folks, it was all henya. It was all henya. It was all henya. Ankusihu, Ankusiaga literally showed this letter to the parties. Even the paramount chief, Krayadada, what are they going to do with me, a little Republican chief? But that's how terrible it is. So now I am left with blackmail, folks. I am left with the proverbial blackmail. If you won't fix my road, obviously, I don't matter to you. I believe, then just leave my republic for me. And the annoying part, all these, primaries thing going up and down and all these. And they come and stick a poster on the community polytank. Can you imagine? There's one of the polytanks leaking. And I have a headache as to how I replace this polytank for the town. You won't come and support me to fix the polytank. You're coming to advertise on it. Folks, I took it down. I'm sure they're going to get me charged or jailed, whatever it is, but you're not going to advertise on my polytank while it's leaking, and I have to go and find money from somewhere to supply them a polytank. But that's what's going on, folks. That's what's going on. So we are left with blackmail. We are left with blackmail. But today we are looking at a very strange phenomenon. Folks, we are looking at a very strange phenomenon today. Blessings for sale if you can afford it. Blessings for sale if you can afford it. Now, some of us have been championing this message for a while, but you know, if you don't have that much of a cloud, who's listening? But now Benny Hinn, big giant of evangelism, has spoken. And so the issue is back on the table. But I want to use this opportunity to extend it. Folks, we Christians have gotten this idea that those who are not followers of Christ are doomed. They have no blessings and indeed are lost in the world. And we pray that they also find Christ someday. And we believe that we are the only ones with the complete truth. And one day, you know, when it dawned on us that God is not a Christian, I don't know what we're going to do when we wake up one day and realize that after all this time, God himself wasn't even a Christian. Now, another truth that we fear as Christians is that before Christianity, we had morals. And that apart from the Christ aspect, there's no command or instruction that we did not abide by or follow religiously. No. Apart from Christ aspect of what we are practicing today as Christianity, I'm yet to meet any tribe, culture who wake up in the morning and grandma will assemble all the grandchildren and say, today go out and steal, today go out and kill, today go out and insult adults, today go out and be rude or obstinate or do something bad. I don't know of any tribe that used to preach that. And then all of a sudden when the Bible came, they said, oh no, they shouldn't start stealing. In fact, it looks as if it's the contrary. No, we don't want to hear that. To us, it's the Bible that made us human. Otherwise, we were blood-drinking savages, as we have already been told. That we drank blood, blood mixed with milk. That's what was written about us. This was a heathen land that needed healing. This was a heathen land that needed healing. And indeed, they had to bring the soil and plant the seed in it. That was the story. And folks, until the lions have had their own historians, tales of hunting, folks, would always glorify the hunter. Now, one amazing song that we Christians sing, and I'm going to try and sing it, so you have to bear with me. After all, it's my opinion. So it goes like, Ebinemu fre fre nsio, Ebinemu fre fre asamanfo. Na yendia yen frefro bio, David, Elijah, yendia yen frefre asamanfo. And then I sit down and think, but where's David and Elijah? Why is asamanfo only when the person is of a black origin? If David and Elijah of a Hebrew or Jewish origin, they can be called upon because omunya asamanfo. But that's how it all started, amazingly. Now these things have gone on, and we have become so gullible. People have found a way of making good living out of it. Multi-million-dollar industry which is tax-free. So they will start by the trotro station with one mic and one speaker, and the next thing you know, he has a congregation bigger than, small countries. We have turned God into some Abusiokan trader who's in it for profit. A God who is so sexed up on dollars. I mean, the modern day God, he's so sexed up on dollars. When he said dollars, God is just like over the hip. A God who's so excited about Range Rovers. I mean, when you say Range Rover, the modern day God does not even know whether to turn left or right. He's so happy about Range Rovers. In fact, we have lowered God more than Bill Gates, because I'm very sure you cannot please Bill Gates with a Range Rover. But the modern day God, when you say dollars and Range Rover, he's just excited, and he will bless you beyond beliefs. If you give him dollars, that's it. This God just opens up his heavens and everything and says, Brabeji, you've given me dollars. That's how much we have reduced God. But before I go on, let me just paint a picture here. Now, this is the God who owns the sun, the earth, the moon, all the planets, including the billions and billions of stars, which I am told each one is bigger than the earth, belongs to this man. And yet we think that if we give him $500, that's it. The God who gives us oxygen from 24/7. This earth is spinning at God knows how many kilometers an hour, and yet we're not feeling dizzy, and we are all stuck to it by gravity from God knows when. And this off, in spite of all this, we think that some man will draw some currency, write a number on it, print it, and all of a sudden God is over heels. I think one thing that we can agree on is that God is very merciful. Folks, I think one thing that we can all deduce and agree on this is that God indeed is merciful. Because believe you me, even in my little republic in Edumasa, some of the things that we do to God today, you cannot do to me in Edumasa. And yet we do it to God. Folks, if you pay in dollars, the Lord will bless you in dollars. If you pay in cedis, then you know how much you're going to get your blessings. These are the messages being preached. Everyone takes a bit of the Bible, regardless of the fact that it's based on the culture and the history of the people, and just take little bits of it, twist it, just to suit them. And as gullible as we are, we just follow. And God's so excited about dollars. Folks, when the missionaries were coming to Africa, the Congo to be specific, they were given specific instructions to select the gospel that will let the savages to be happy to suffer. And so that when they were digging away the wealth and the riches out of the soil, they wouldn't be so envious. It was specific. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are those who die in the Lord. Blessed are those who suffer persecution. Blessed are those who are downtrodden. Highlight those things. Now, these were the scriptures highlighted. It is easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man. And so if somebody wasn't rich, he didn't care. He didn't care. His chances of going into heaven was better because he was poor. And so if you are stealing the gold and stealing the diamonds and everything, it doesn't matter. We are only here on a temporary basis, and when we die, we are going to be walking on paved roads with gold and diamond and flashing. So everything here, we don't care. So guess what? They looted and looted and looted, and they were creating heavens. And after they created the heavens, they realized that there's a principle in this world. There was a principle in this world. After all, it's not only Christians who are rich or only Christians who are blessed, but there are some principles that people follow. And what was that? They reach out to the disadvantaged. There's a huge blessing in giving, folks. As for that, even if you are Satan, Lucifer, whatever you are, atheist, when you give, you get. It's like a law of nature. I didn't create it. Nobody created it. That's how it is. If you give, you receive. And check this out. After they have created their heavens, they were reaching out. They rescued even animals. They protected their trees. They got straight back into nature because they realized that man's connection with God is a direct relationship with your nature. Your waters, your trees, your air, even cleaning the air. That's what they were doing. So they forgot about all the superstition, and guess what? They started selling their churches. Real estates were buying their churches and turning them into real estates. But guess what? The people were becoming more moral. They are not lying. They are working hard. They are cleaning their neighborhood. They are disciplining people. They are being honest. We, on the other hand, after we had given up everything and hoping that one day we're going to walk on these paved roads, we live in filth, lies, corrupt leaders who come up with the, words that I want to use on air, absolute wrong. Do the absolute wrong to us. And we endure it because you know what? This is only temporal. We're going somewhere better. But this is the irony, folks. Here's the irony. Once we all decided that, well, this is a temporary land and we don't care, we don't mind walking across the desert to these heavens that they have created. I was listening to Isnu Anaba preach one day, and he says, listen, if the earth is meaningless to you, heaven will be useless. If the earth today you are living has no meaning to you, heaven will be useless. And I think it sums it all up, folks. It sums it all up. It sums it all up. So we have created this hellhole, hoping that one day we'll go to heaven. But the greatest irony is on Wednesdays, Thursdays, right bang in the middle of the afternoon, we go and do major prayer services to be able to get a visa. And as a Christian, a Ghanaian Christian, can come to church, and his testimony, his blessing to the church is that he has gotten a visa to go to Canada. He's gotten a visa to go to Japan. And that is the blessing that the black man stands in a church to profess to the church that you won't believe how God has blessed me. I submitted my things, and even I didn't add my bank statement, but the guy didn't add, forgot to ask me about the bank statement, and he stamped the book. And to him, that is the greatest blessing that God has given him. Folks, there must be something going wrong here. There must be something seriously wrong here. But then as we lived in this hellhole, if I may say, gradually, our wealth increased. So then we had a two-tier country. You have about 3%, who are very wealthy. 97 who are, struggling to see what day is going to be tomorrow. And so the industry of prosperity teaching started coming in. Because back in the day, you couldn't go and preach prosperity to anybody. Well, under colonialism and before colonialism and all these things. But now the economy was stable, civil rights, constitution, abrofosem, God knows. And so the churches decided, well, in that case, if you pay in dollars, the Lord will bless you in dollars. Oh, I can see a caterpillar falling. Somebody receive it. If there's a contractor in the house, receive the caterpillar, and then they'll be running to go and receive this virtual caterpillar. Folks, and here we are. Rebecca said, what Jimmy Anamete also? Why not? If that's what it is that you're going to give me your dollars, then come and receive your caterpillar because I can see it falling. And gradually, we monetized this faith. We threw common sense out of it. You cannot think, you cannot question it, because if you question it, you're not a believer and you don't have faith. It shouldn't make sense. You just have to go along with it. And folks, the numbers that they have, the numbers that they have, and the people that you expect that this man should be wiser than me, this man should be well read than me, sitting in front of a person who tells you I am Jesus or I am an angel or whatever it is, and they sit there and they give out these dollars. So lost, just finished. To the point, we've gotten to the point where if you see or hear a preacher preaching about life lessons and positivity, you commend them. I mean, is it not amazing? Is it not amazing that preaching, good preachers have become so rare that the few who actually preach life lessons, you just can't, praise them enough. So here we are, dichotomy. One, just live in the filth, just forget about it, because when you die, you have a paved road. But then those of you who have dollars, no problem. Come and give me the dollars. For you, I will bless you here. The same church. Those in the front, they will bring their dollars because they will be blessed here. Those at the back, don't worry, for blessed are those who mourn. You will be comforted. No problem. Don't. This is only a temporary place. The Lord has prepared a place for you. But those of you in front with the dollars, bring the dollars, for I will bless you more. Folks, this confusion is beyond me. This confusion is beyond me. Until this date, 2019, we still haven't switched on. That, it is our deeds, our character, the things we do and love to do that will be more important. And so somebody's in church praying and praying. They get into their car, and right by the T junction at the church, he or she will not give you 1 second to drive past. And if you dare, they will rain insults at you. Meanwhile, this person has just given dollars for their blessings. They get to work, and just for them to take one paper from one desk, just a little signature, and push the paper on. 3 weeks. 3 weeks and 4 brown envelopes before the paper will move. And out of that brown envelopes, they will turn up at church that Sunday, front seat. Who is going to give me $1,000? Bah, no abba. Who will give me 200? Bah, no abba. What is going on? A God that's sexed up on dollars. Which God are you guys worshiping, man? Folks, which God are we now worshiping? The guy created Pluto, Saturn. I think Saturn has got like 10 moons, or God has his own moons. I mean, it's beyond. Sometimes, I sit there and I was asking the pastor, are we worthy enough to worship God? He said, yes, we are. I said, well, if you say so. Because I don't even know if we are worthy enough to worship God. Unless, of course, there's a different God, like a deputy God somewhere. But the guy who created this universe, with all the planets, the seas, the rivers, the hills, trees, and you check out the human being, and my goodness, the human body, the brain and how it functions, how everything functions in you, how one click here and this responds and that responds, and you think, Jesus Christ, but who's this man? But according to us, he's somebody who, if you have a few dollars, you can manipulate. If you have a few dollars, you can manipulate. So Benny Hinn comes up and says, you know something? I think I am fed up with asking people to buy God's blessings. It is wrong, and I don't want to do that again. Hey, if God was to come and bill us for his blessings. Though I leave my air conditioner on 24 hours and the bill they bring me from ECG. Can you imagine breathing oxygen from the day you were born to today, and they bring you a bill? That this is the bill for your oxygen, otherwise I am shutting it off. Please, stop undermining God. Stop degrading God, and stop believing that there's only one people who've only got the truth. Folks, our ancestors said the truth is like a baobab tree. No single arm can wrap around it. We should all hold hands so that we could go around the baobab tree, because we haven't got the complete truth. We should learn to tolerate and accept people, accept different cultures. Peacefully bless each other, indeed compete to do good. If there's going to be a competition, let us compete to do good, and not compete to say God loves me more than him or her. No, but let's compete to do good, which we are losing. And so, my fellow Christians, I think we are losing the plot. There was a research that said 5 billion of us are going to hell. I think, really? Well, aren't we even lucky that it's only 5 billion? Because at this rate, what are we doing? But what it teaches is that God is very merciful. Because I'm telling you that had he not been merciful, he wouldn't tolerate this nonsense from us. This absolute and total disrespect from us. And people have turned it into a business. There's a gospel show, VIP. Hey, nyamenyum. If you don't have money, you don't sit in front. Go and sit at the back. Can you imagine Jesus coming and saying that, you know something, me, I'm here for the rich. So if you're not rich, you're not coming. I'm not going to save you. Let us rethink. particularly the followers. We, the followers. I think it's the time that we wake up and start thinking. Wake up and start thinking that this humanization of God is becoming too much. This monetizing of the faith has gone beyond madness. Let us humble ourselves and think. Let us reducing all these gimmicks in the faith. Folks, my name is Nana Sakwa. That's my opinion today, and I know you definitely have an opinion too. 0302-216-541. What is your opinion? Lessons for sale if you can afford it. This one says, Nana Ansakwa, thank you so much. You hit the nail right on the head. God bless you. I say God bless you too. Richie Lai says, when it comes to controlling human beings, there's no better instrument than lies. Because you see, humans live by belief, and belief can be manipulated. The power to manipulate belief is the only thing that counts. Thank you, Richie, for bringing your message in. So I expected you to be inundated. I expect you to be inundated with irrelevant scriptures and biblical quotes. So try and disprove you. When it comes to scriptures, we tend to put our thinking on hold. They will say you didn't understand things of the Spirit. One day, many will understand. If I have to mention your name, just give me a thumbs up. But Alex is on the phone. Let me speak to Alex. Hello, Alex.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Thanks for seizing our mind. All the same. But you see, the good book also says, when you read about Paul, he said, when you want to talk about learned people, I am one. When you want to talk of the, when I say learned, I mean the lawyer. Or bringing it to the Bible. When he is a Pharisee among the Pharisees, the Jew among the Jews. And from his experience, he is saying that with all his learnedness, the faith of Christ or the trust in Christ, which we are following, it is not about learnedness, it is about faith. So it is beyond our knowledge of book or whatever. But all the same, common sense is also necessary, which he has given us.
Thank you very much. Common sense is very necessary. But Nicholas is on the phone. Hello, Nicholas.
Yeah, good evening, Nana.
Good evening, my brother.
Do you know what? This morning I called several times. I didn't get through. I have sat down, listened to preachers upon preachers, sat down again, read the scriptures, and I've come to see that some of the things that we are being told, I don't want to use certain words. However, thank you for bringing this up. You've done very well. Because we are being cheated day in, day out. We are being cheated in so many ways. And when you say it, people think that you are the devil's brother, about to pounce on them or whatever. When you try to let them understand certain basic issues, they will tell you that no, you are rather not good. Instead of they going back and trying to study the word. We have been worshiping God before the whites came, the Europeans came. However, we threw all those things away, which is very wrong. Very, very wrong.
Thank you very much, my brother. There's so many people on the call as my producer is signaling me. 0302216541. Let me read one message. Good evening, Nana. Fantastic presentation there. I can't stop laughing here. For some of us, they have tagged us blasphemers and demons, so we have stopped talking about it. Russo in Nungwa. Hello, Farid.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, Farid.
Yeah, Nana. Honestly, this issue is one that really gets me fuming anytime I see all these criminals, excuse my language, who array themselves as religious men. I mean, it's almost as if we have made religion an excuse to be stupid. Excuse me, Nana, but that is how I see it. Because sometimes you wonder whether those of us who follow these people, is it that God just doesn't want us to think? So when they say just pray or just believe and that is all, and I ask myself, so what, the knowledge that God gave to the scientists and all these technologists and all those people, is it for them to just put it aside or just throw it away? Is it not for them to use it? And God has also given us wisdom, and we decide to sit back and allow people, con men, con artists, to just fraud our minds. How can you tell me I should bring 500 CDs for a bottle of whatever spiritual water, and that 500 CDs is what would buy me God's blessings? I mean, what an insult. It's a total insult to God. Thank you very much, Sana.
Thank you too, my brother. Thank you too. But Ernest is on the line. Let me talk to Ernest. Hello, Ernest.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
My brother, I think what you have started is what should continue. Because if I tell you this, you will not believe it. There are some people in the church who are at maybe elder level, deacon level, who disagree sometimes with some of these things that are going on in the church. And can you believe that sometimes you will not believe it? They are even poison so that they leave the system. So this very issue, if we want to attack it, unless the journalists come, before this issue can be dealt with. If you leave this to only churchgoers, my brother, it will not work.
Thank you very much. Nana, this is what I was waiting all this while. Jehovah bless you from Gem Mampro B. Arnold is on the phone. Hello, Arnold.
Yes, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, please, if we understand something, let's find a way to understand it. Mm-hmm. There are good ones over there before the stupid ones are also using their ways to make money. If you read Genesis chapter 4, when God asked Cain and Abel to do sacrifice unto him, according to where you study Bible, Joy FM had big Bible scholars over there, they will tell you, Cain used things that God didn't appreciate. And Abel used something very fat to give to God. Mm-hmm. It came to a time in the Israelites that they were fighting. They were winning. All of a sudden, they are opposite. Their enemies went to sacrifice. The king went to sacrifice. He's only begun to serve into the gods. And God was so angry that, hey, if you, Israel, you are here, and these people, my enemy, these people can hear, he can kill his own son. Then how is you doing? Sometimes, sometimes, no, the pastor is paying electricity. The pastor is paying, they are doing the church well. Mm-hmm. Because they are not interested in the money. The Holy Spirit is there for.
Hello?
Go to let us learn and explain the thing, but not just being on radio. Sometimes these people who are all saying this, their wives and their families are going around saying the same pastors for prayer, for protection behind. But they'll come and call this program and say anything to condemn Christianity. No, the foolish ones are there making Christianity very, very, very rough and very, very stupid. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Maybe the foolish ones are becoming too much. But Kwesi is on the line. Hello, Kwesi.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, how are you?
I'm very well.
Yes, I'm happy about this program you are having this evening. Mm-hmm. And I want to contribute. But one thing I want to say is I like the way you present yourself this evening. And should you be a pastor, I'm sure you'll be a trillionaire, I should say, because you can convince. But one point I want to clear is, can you convince me? I heard you say that it is in giving that you receive, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you can you prove it to me? Because one thing that I know that in giving, it depends on who you give it to, not anyone.
Well,
So I've heard the same pastors use the same word to deceive the people to take their money. Nana, you get me?
I get you.
That is why I'm saying that if anybody who uses this kind of approach is going to get a lot of money, because the people have been programmed, our minds had been programmed to accept that fact that just give, it will come back to you. But in real time or actual sense, it depends on who you give it to. That is the thing. If I can give you an example. I have a friend who is in a choir, sings very well, the head pastor sees, and this friend gives tithe every time, and wants to get just 400 cedis to add to the rent. The church was not able to give it to. But this is somebody who has contributed month to month to the development of the church. Now you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so you give it to the church is not able to give it to you back. You call it a blessing? We have to come to the knowledge and understanding that it depends on who you give it to. If you give me, I'm your friend, and you give me money, this is why the Arabs or the other religions believe in. They give, but they give it to who deserves it.
And I want to say amen to that. Definitely. When I'm saying giving, you don't go and give to somebody whose pot is already full. No. There are people sick, and actually, before I even continue, as we speak right now, there's Jennifer Forson, and she needs all our help. She needs, I think, 150,000 to have a brain surgery because blood is leaking into her brain as we speak. And so if you want to give, that's somebody you can give towards to. Now, there's a Momo number, which is 024 089 1087. 024 089 1087. And she's got this condition, and she only has a few weeks to live. I think they've already raised about 80,000 already. So you can send the money to this number, but you must save, reference Jennifer Forson, and that's a giving to save somebody's life, not to fill somebody's, Rolls Royce. I buy a Rolls Royce Phantom, and you come and fill it for me and say you want blessing. Hey, you're already blessed. But Dixon is on the phone. Hello, Dixon. Yes, sir.
Yes, just to applaud you for the human talk. I realize people are being misunderstood by the way the pastors are going about their preaching. In fact, we are monetizing Christianity to the extent that we fail to appreciate why we should worship God, and then concentrate on the materialism. And if you get to various churches, through a state of contributions, what they call, we have the mainstream collections, and then project work, or project work, which is for the building of the chapel. And since time immemorial, pastors fail to complete the project they are working on, and at the end, taking the little money that the congregants have. And I realize we have to get something better to do with what we
Oh, sorry, line cut off there. Good evening, Great King. This is really a good topic. These same wicked pastors will let you bring all your money and let you down when you don't have the money anymore. God bless you, Papa Ansa in Teshinungwa Estate. Papa Ansa, I think we have a namesake. And the same thing, I think, I don't know where, Jennifer Forson goes to church, and I wonder how much of this 80,000 came from her church. I'll investigate and hopefully put it out before I leave here. The church that she's been to from Sunday school and giving. And now that she's sick, how much has this church come to her aid? The church, how much have they come to the aid? Is a church a one-way church where it's just give, but I won't give back to you? Titi is on the phone. Titi. Hello, Titi.
Yeah.
Let me hear you.
Pardon?
Let me hear you. You're on air.
Yeah. Good evening. And then good evening to the cherished listeners.
And I've been listening to the program, and I just want to contribute. I think these things we are seeing today, Paul rightly said in 2 Timothy 3:16, that these things will happen. The unfortunate part is that most people don't really study their Bible, so they become so gullible that these things are used against them, and then monies are collected from them, and they continue to be impoverished. But if we study the scriptures very well, it will not continue that way. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you too. 0302216541, and the Apostle Paul himself is on the phone. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, please.
Yeah. This is a topic I've always been waiting for. You are not again. But on a given thing, I think you made a mistake and you corrected yourself. Right? That's good. Because God says, the Bible even says, God loves a cheerful giver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God loves a cheerful giver. You don't give because you want in return anything to be given to you. You give freely out of your heart. You don't give because you want to get back. That is what true giving is. Now, with this proliferation of these charlatans in the system, what do we do about it? Because the brainwashed are now too many. They have brainwashed too many people. So how do we get out of it? It's now difficult to talk people out of this nonsense, especially our ladies. They have been hypnotized. And the annoying thing is, by many of them, stark illiterate. And they are enriching them. And look, Nana, I can tell you, the economic woes that we are in as a nation, majority of it can be traced to these churches and their behavior. Because from Monday to Sunday, people are in church. People who are supposed to be doing something meaningful to contribute to the economy are in church, doling out their very little to charlatans, criminals, to enrich themselves, buy debt, Rolls Royce, and all the like. And the state sits down aloof. Nobody seems to pay. It's sad.
Thank you very much, my brother, and I share your passion. 0302216541. Kofi is on the line. Hello, Kofi.
Yes, Nana, I hope you are well today.
I am very well.
Excellent. You know, there is a quote that says that when your wagon or your truck or pickup or a van is stuck in the mud, okay, on a muddy road, God is going to listen to the one who will get out and start pushing it than the one who raise their hands in the air and start, praying. All right. Another thing about giving, that is the one side. Another thing about giving is, okay, if I take even 5,000 Ghana cedis or 1,000 Ghana cedis tomorrow morning and I go around Accra, it will finish. Because everywhere on a traffic light, somebody will come and you will have to give. So you give 2 cedis or 1 cedi, it will finish. Then tomorrow you continue doing. So there are proper way of giving. Then, Nana, another thing is education. What we are talking about here, I don't think it happens so much in the Western world. If our people, we are enlightened, just like colonialism, all right? We think the white man did this, white man did that. Now, the white man is not here. What are we doing to empower ourselves? So, if people are going to wake up and do all these things, education is important. But at the same time, we are predators. These so-called prophets and other, charlatans and whatsoever, people, if they have knowledge or they are educated enough, will find the right places to go to worship. Because you are talking about, gospel, Christianity and all that. Where to worship, and it is the Church of Jesus Christ. people must find the church. When I say the Church of Jesus Christ, that follows the example of Jesus Christ. So it's a whole thing we need to, when poverty in this country leads people to certain things.
Thank you
Meanwhile,
very
they
much.
are also predated.
Thank you very much. There's lots of calls on the phone. This one is from Frank in Accra. Now, this Frank is probably the one I was trying to reach. Oh, this whole program is designed for people like Frank. He said, listen to it. Don't sit on radio and attack and bastardize other people's faith. You will not be happy if someone did the same to you. There are good people who have devoted their time to serve God. So please be a bit sensitive. Frank, did you listen to the show? But Patrick listened to the show, hopefully.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, boss.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for your contributions. Your opinions are sound, and I'm grateful. I think you've touched on the sentiments of majority of us. Many of us always think about some of these things, and you get worried as it enters the church. But I think you don't throw the water away when you have, you don't throw the water and the child away, as former President Mills says. When the water is dirty, you throw the water away and leave the child. People might have abused the church. People might have abused the systems in the church. But the church has really contributed so well to society. You see, the moral fiber, which we all ascribe to, most of the moral fiber, was coined by the church. Now, I just want to make some contributions concerning the claims you made that prior to Christianity, our father's faith held and so many things were right in the system. I think it's not entirely true.
Until the lions have their own historians, my brother. Let me hear you. You thought before the Bible we were savages, right?
Exactly. You see, in Ghana here,
yes,
we had different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to Nigeria, traditional culture was there. When you go to India, they also had the.
Can you give me an example of a culture who
One
woke
example.
up?
One example.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Among the Igbos, it was right to eat humans. It was generally accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, even among the Ashantis, it was right to sacrifice humans to bury kings. All those are typical examples of what was existing prior to Christianity.
And so you thought Christianity made them more human?
I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that if the claims, you just submit a claim.
Mm-hmm.
You have to suggest something to the claim it's making, like the Bible.
Is there any culture who haven't got a tainted history? I mean, didn't you have a king that was slaughtering his wives, the King George? I mean, was the Bible not burning people, enslaving people? Is there a history that you won't find a taint in it? But sit back and generalize. If you want us to pinpoint, you probably burn, everybody's culture. That's if you want to pinpoint. But the last thing you want to sit and believe that as a black man, had you not met a white man, you hadn't been human. That's why we are in this mess, my brother. And you sound young enough. So read. Just Google, read. Ebenezer is on the line. Hello, Ebenezer.
Good evening, if you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Nana, what I do not understand is that if these so-called men of God are God's representatives, as they claim, why do they display their own pics, on these notices and what have you, So we need to regulate their activities, okay? All these prophets and so on. They could not foretell the 2015 circle disaster. And we need to study God's word. Apostle Paul, told Timothy, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 50. When Joshua took on the mantle of leadership, that is in Deuteronomy chapter 34 verse 9, and then Joshua chapter 1 verse 1 to 6, after the death of Moses, God's advice to him was to study his law. So if you study God's word, you will be able to to know that in Christianity, you give out of your own volition.
And I'll say amen to that. I'll say a big amen to that. But whether you're a Christian, Muslim, atheist, so far as you breathe air in this world, you must learn to give. Even if you can't give money, go to the next door neighbor and wash her things for her if she's an old lady. If you can walk somebody's child to school, whatever it is, you must give. You cannot live in this world and not give. But sometimes it becomes even difficult to see who to give to. But as for giving, it's a constant. Okay, so I'm told that yes, indeed, Jennifer Forson's church is leading in the donations, and it's only a small church. I don't know the name. I hope the name will come, so at least I can give them some shout out for doing that. But again, the Momo number. This is a lady who's literally life being snuffed out of her, and as Christians, that's a good way to give something. So the Momo number is 024-089-1087. 024-089-1087, and you must put Jennifer Forson as a reference. She's at 37 right now, and they're just literally waiting for donations to come in so she can be flown to India, I'm supposed, to get this brains. No, they're going to do it here. I hear there's a specialist here, so they're going to do it here, but that's the money they need. There is an account number for Standard Chartered Bank, Euripharma Care, Ghana Services Limited. The account number is 0100 105 506600, 0100 105 506600, and again the reference is Jennifer Forson. Let us be Christians. Until I come back to you next Monday, Sammy Forson is going to overdrive you. Abeku Sankofi, my son, was on the ones and twos, and he will continue to be on the ones and twos. Mr. Adum, the fine voice, is going to give you the news bulletin, and we are good to go. Thank you very much for tuning in.